Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves as the United States, episode number 18. So we've done, we just came off that big battle. There was several comments about being able to move ships if you combine, something like this. If you combine the ships which are in repair with the ships that are not in repair, and you move them all, then it's supposed to also move the injured ship, or maybe it's... Oh, there's another trick you could do, which is if you rebuild this ship, and I have absolutely no idea what we would do for rebuilding anyway. I can't remember. Oh, okay, so we do have improved director. So there's actually a reason to rebuild the Philippines. I mean, I just wanted to demonstrate this. Actually, I kind of want to see it firsthand. Does the Lightning class also need improved director? It does. Is there anything else that we need? Better 5-inch guns? So torpedo protection 2 on these versus torpedo protection 1 on the Philippines. That's not a huge difference, but the improved director brings this down to 10, to 110 I should say. The conning tower on this thing is so low. Conning tower of 9. To make that work, I think. Did we get better 6-inch guns? No. So it's going to be quite a rebuild cost just to do improved director. But the one I want to do is the Lightning class because this change doesn't require a shift in the amount of ammunition. So it's just a pure upgrade. There's no downside to this. I think we'll just do this immediately. We can also do increased elevation. Is there anything else we would want to do? Those are pretty good, I would say very good attributes to add to the Lightning class. So we'll save this, and this is a test. I'm not going to rebuild all of them, but I'm going to do it with this one. I'm going to rebuild the Lightning. We'll see what happens to the Palatka, and then we'll see what happens to the Lightning after her rebuild. So if it happens that the Palatka is interned, and the Lightning is actually brought back to the East Coast, then this bug, we might say. I'm not sure if it's working as it's designed or not. Maybe, I don't know. There's probably some kind of real world analogy I could create for myself to try to pretend that this is a fair thing, but I think it should be the result that your ship is interned. So, lots of light cruisers to test this theory out with. But what else? Now the movement thing, I'm surprised didn't work. So it didn't appear that moving both ships that are in need of repair and ships that are not in need of repair did not move the other ones. Or there was another trick perhaps I'm forgetting about. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So let's move on. We gained 1,500 victory points. I don't think we've been giving any money to the army, so that's a little bit surprising to me, excuse me. But yeah, we'll take it. We'll always take it. And demonstrations, serious disturbances are reported in France. Okay, so the Plaka is damaged and has been interned in a neutral port. We got our answer. These are all being interned in neutral ports. Okay, I shouldn't be so disappointed. It's a good thing, right? We have an amazing 8-point victory. I mean, it's fantastic. However, we didn't get a single invasion, which was just a bit annoying. So the ones I want to take are Southeast Asia. And I think that's all of French holdings in Southeast Asia. No, obviously. Senegal, no. These are all Africa. And I think that New Caledonia, I don't know where that is. So let's take these two. Let's see what happens. The return from internment. And let's see, did I... Yeah, so this New Caledonia, it is, in fact... within the South Pacific. So I did not want to take that because then I would have had an extra foreign station to cover. So actually I'm pretty happy with that decision in the end. Okay, good. So France, not really an opponent we need to be pitted against again. I would say if my goal, which it really has been, is to take Southeast Asia, the next target is Germany. Or it could be Great Britain. I still don't know if Burma's probably considered part of the Indian Ocean, but as it lies squarely in between two sea zones, legitimate sea zones, it's anyone's guess. I would guess it's an Indian Ocean, but I'm not the game designer, so. And here's more good news, is that even after the budget has been decreased due to us not being at war anymore, we now have a 4 million, nearly 5 million, let's call it, surplus. Now, if I remember correctly, we got guns. We got some new naval guns to deal with. We have quality 0 16-inch guns. We can probably do something with that soon. I don't know if I want to do the quality 17-inch guns, the quality -1 17-inch guns, because although I think 17-inch guns with quality 1 are the best in the game, that's my firm belief. It's great for a Dreadnought. I'm thinking that it's too many upgrades. It's just, why not just wait? Why not just wait? They're incredibly expensive in terms of size, like tonnage. So we might as well get better performance out of them first. Now that said, having quality 0 16-inch guns puts us probably a little ahead of the curve from a technology standpoint. So that should probably be a priority. Now, most unfortunately, I don't have my Notepad++ pulled up. So I'm not going to have a list of ships to go off of yet. So we'll have to wait on any designs. I might be able to design something and then call it temp. Otherwise, I guess I could put a cut in the video and try to edit things back together. But I really, no, I don't want to do that because I'd rather get this out as soon as possible. It's a little bit late on the delivery already. Okay, so what to do right now? Let's just work on retrofitting any and all existing ships. Let's just do... In fact, we may have to make the hard decision about whether to scrap a few ships. I'm extremely disappointed by the performance of our battleships. I don't really mean that they've performed in any real sense of the word in the last couple wars, but they have not induced invasions. There was 2 juicy French territories in Southeast Asia, and neither were invaded, even though, I mean, we can see, I'm pretty sure this was the same for pretty much the whole war. That we had over the 4-to-1, I think it's only a 3-to-1 advantage you need, and I think you have to have at least 1 battleship or dreadnought, or battle cruiser. One of those big ships, and we had those battleships. So maybe, I don't think this is true, I'm almost positive it's not, but maybe the game somehow looks for dreadnoughts once they become available instead of battleships. Which means that a lot of these battleships, which have, they've served us well. They've served us very well. What's our tonnage need here now? 21,000. 2 battleships ought to do it. Actually, we only need 1 battleship. I mean, because there's the armored cruisers too, which are actually much more of a liability than our battleships. So I'll probably end up putting these to rest. So let's do it this way. We have 2 battleships, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. Let's move everyone to the West Coast. Everyone, well, not necessarily everyone. Let's keep 2 in Southeast Asia. And how many do I need in Northeast Asia? I just need 1 battleship. In Northeast Asia. So 2 to defend Southeast Asia, 1 to defend Northeast Asia, and the rest are going to go home. I'm not sure what their fate will be yet. But 280 versus 278, or conversely 234 versus 232, the difference is so minor, but considering that these armored cruisers, I mean, they're really not bad. It's hard to say. It's hard to say I should scrap them. Maybe just mothball them. For what I want to do, I don't know. Okay, well, first let's just move all of them to West Coast. This will buy me a little bit of time to think about things. But I don't know even if because I don't think crew quality is going to be important. From everything I know about the game, crew quality doesn't play a role in invasion. I think it's just simple calculation of points. It's rough. Alright, we'll also get all of our... Okay, so we have a few different types of light cruisers now. The Great Lakes is... I think that's the really good one. It is. We have this Grand Rapids, which 3-2 is... Oh, and this is the 8-inch guns. So the Grand Rapids are fantastic. The Galveston, the worst of the bunch, by far. So we want to keep the Grand Rapids for sure, but we'll keep them on the West Coast. And they will be our Asia deployment. This is nice. I like to compartmentalize things like this. Helps my brain. They may end up being the Grand Rapids, I'm saying, may end up helping in the Caribbean still. But we'll just move them to the West Coast for now to keep them all things together. The Galvestons will just take some time in the Caribbean. And the Great Lakes will dwell on the East Coast. So we'll do this kind of separation. By the way, is the Caribbean considered a home port as well? I think not. I'm not sure how it's... I think it's due to this. So this is a home area, Gulf Coast, but where are your batteries? Okay, let's do Gulf Coast. If we click here... Okay, let's pretend we want to build... well, I don't care. Let's just build something. Where will this be? No, I don't think that's the way I want to do it. I don't know if this should be in the Caribbean. Okay, so Gulf Coast should be in the Caribbean. Let's build a fortification anyway. Why not? It's cheap. Does it say the sea zone they're in? No, it just says location. Okay. What? Well... Yeah. That means the Caribbean should also be a home base, which means the United States Navy has 3 home bases in this game, 3 Navy spots which are home base, which is fantastic. By the way, is the Northeast Asia considered a home base? It should be then. Home area for Russia. That's nice for them as well. So Russia is the only other nation. No, France as well has 2 home bases, home areas. Okay, but you're only blockaded, I think, if you lose your main one, which for us is the East Coast. That's a lot of ship movement. I'm not even sure what's going on. The Galvestons are in... well, they're not back yet. Okay. The Farragut. The Farragut has served well. It is the oldest one, so it should go to the West Coast, I think. Now, this is the short-range ship, so we actually have to position her. In fact, she might actually stay where she's at. Okay, Sandwich class. I think it's time to retire you. Somehow by a miracle, by only a miracle, you're alive. 3-inch guns, 4 torpedoes. You're almost not worth the cost of scrapping, though, because your maintenance is only 10,000. We could put some of the Farraguts into... We could keep like 4... Well, let's see. How many are here? There's 10 ships. So we could do 4 in Northeast Asia and 6 in Southeast Asia. 20,000 versus 17,000. Yeah, I think it's fine. So they'll have 6 and 4 as a regular deployment no matter what. I don't know if that's going to be beneficial to us or maybe negative. If we get any like destroyer wars in those two areas, the Farragut's not going to perform well. But we'll keep the Bennies in the Caribbean because that's where she already is. And the New Haven, well, when she comes back, she will be moved to the East Coast. Now, the Kingfishers 1916, I guess we don't need to refit these quite yet. How many do we have left? 43. I think that's an okay number for now. So we can actually get to refitting these other ships. We now can rebuild you because, well, it doesn't matter what happens now. It's peacetime. So let's rebuild both of the other Lightnings as well. And that was not that expensive in the end. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess the same should go for the Mount Rainier. We need to get the improved director on her. We don't have, or we do have. Nope, still no better 13-inch guns. Well, I mean, improved director is something we have to do anyway, right? So let's just do it. Is there, well, wait, do we have mines? We probably have that technology, but I don't think you can put them on battle cruisers. Okay, well, let's just save, rebuild. As I said, we can always rebuild the other ones. We can just do another refit if we get better 13-inch guns or anything like that pretty much immediately afterwards. Alright, same thing for the Philippines. This one's going to be a little bit different because we have to drop the rounds per gun. Really makes you think about what else can you get. That's a lot of space left over. We could leave them... Yeah, we could leave them as slightly overweight, but I don't want to do that. 110 rounds is not that many for 14-inch guns, I would say. The torpedoes, yeah, we did find those useful. And these are oil firing. That was the next thing I was considering, is maybe we can replace it and get oil from coal, but nope. He's already satisfied that requirement. By the way, do we have director? Okay, no. Alright, whatever. We'll just do this then. And we'll rebuild you. And then we'll rebuild the other ones. Which should take our budget below positive. It does not. Well, try as we might. Okay, you, improved director. Yeah, improved director, I guess it doesn't... It shouldn't be that big of a cost. And I think that's all fine here. And these should probably be our Southeast Asia ships now. The von Steubens. Okay, battleships are not going to end up getting this this improvement. They're lucky if I don't scrap them. Okay, well that's a negative. How are we doing on spying? I think we're spying on all the right people. We probably don't even want to spy on France anymore, just in case we end up going to war with them. So what I'll probably do is actually just make this episode pretty quick. We're to the 20-minute mark already. I might keep this one under 30 minutes, which is a rarity. But I'll do that, well, one, because I did like 3 episodes at like 50 minutes. No, wait, I had to break up the last one, so it's a little bit... Oh, okay. People are out. Send them... Well, who else is in... Anybody else in Northern Europe? Let's send them all together to the East Coast. Okay, that's good. We have 2 Galvestons in the Caribbean. Is that where they're supposed to be? They're all supposed to be there. Okay, so let's move you down to the Caribbean as well. And then the Great Lakes takes that. Yeah, so the Farragut's kind of spread all over, which is not terrible. It's really not that terrible because we might want her to defend in all those locations and then use the rest of my destroyers as like a mobile, I don't know, invasion force or something like that. I'll keep it that way for now. Okay, so we have everyone on the West Coast now. Well, I'm still torn. We should get a new class. We should be starting it soon. A new cruiser from Germany has just arrived on a goodwill visit, and the press is only too eager to report on all of its advanced features. One reporter approaches you for a comment. What do you say? If we lose a little bit of prestige, we get our budget up. That did devastate our our unrest levels earlier. Or if that's the best we can come up with, we have nothing. Well, Germany is the nation, in fact, that we want to go to war with for their Southeast holdings, Southeast Asia holdings. So yeah, we'll provoke them. Okay, and we have a huge positive monthly balance, which I think it's just time for us to bite the bullet and end this episode so I can bring up a ship list so we can have a new ship. Well, let's just take a look. I can save this as a temp. First of all, what are we building next? We're building a Dreadnought, yes. And we'll name it whatever for now. What are we dealing with? 16-inch guns. 1919, so this isn't exactly an endgame design. So yeah, I think 16-inch guns on a Dreadnought is good. We might end up putting only 14-inch guns on our battlecruiser still. We'll put this down to 21. We don't want them too much faster than the ship before them, but we'll keep making this incremental improvement. Speed of 21 is very decent, I would say. Short range, well, that's an interesting thought. I don't think we'll be doing that as the United States. That probably makes a lot more sense if you're, like, if we were playing Italy or something. Just going to put 110 here right away. 105 is maybe the least I'd want with 16-inch guns. 11, 3, 11, take that down to 10. It's up to 13 probably. Turret top of 3, probably 3.5, and secondaries down to 2, as usual. And wow, geez, boy, this thing just screams to be made, huh? I mean, that is uncanny that the exact design we're looking at more or less works. Well, first of all, I think we can go to this. We did get this right. We don't have it yet? We still don't have secondary turret reduction? My goodness. That looks better. Another problem with this is the aft superimposed should be aft centerline superimposed triple. And I think that we should up the guns like so. Okay, so it's just overweight. They don't let you they don't let you produce a ship which is 2,000 tons overweight. That makes sense. So 40,000 tons. How are we looking now? It's just this one problem with them in double turrets. We can do the single turrets if we have to. Now, I could get a lot more ammunition. Do we need that much? No. Actually, we're pretty much right at the mark. We can probably wiggle in some turret top. No. Yes, if we lower the conning tower, right? Uh-huh. Yes. Standardized 9 inches of conning tower armor. I am okay with that. Okay, so it's going to look ugly because of that silly not double turret design, which always puts the guns in weird places. I mean, they look funny to me at least. But this is a darn good ship. Torpedo defense 2. 40,000 tons. She is a behemoth. Let me save her as temp. And let's look at a few things. What do we have as far as turret upgrades technology? Do we have the quadruple reduction of rate of fire penalty for quadruple? Let's also check out, I think that's it, just the turret. Oh yeah, and then we'll just kind of wait around for double turret. This might both be turret related. So quadruple turrets, but only triple turrets have the improvement. Okay. So it's a little bit risky to make that exact ship. I was really hoping that would be the one. We still appreciate AP technology, but how's our research allocated right now? I think that's smart to do low and low on those. By the way, we have medium range and yeah, okay. Our submarines are probably terrible, but that's okay. After improved director, I mean, the advanced director, sure, but let's take this down to low. I'll wait a couple years to put it back up because the advanced director is probably like a 1924 technology or so. So we're way ahead of time. We're not expecting to get it so quickly. Yeah, and then we can just allocate that research somewhere else for the time being. So the only two things we have on high are turrets, which is good because we want the improved quadruples, and naval gun research, which is always a priority. Okay. Oh, I believe I read that correctly, that we captured the French improved 5-inch guns. Let's just verify that. Yes. Okay, well, the 5-inch gunships now have to come out. There they are. So the only ones are the Lightning class. Okay. So we'll rebuild. I think we can do open all for rebuild at the same time. We want to improve your secondary turrets. Yes, definitely. And that's going to take a while. We actually can adjust the number of secondaries when we do this. Is there any reason to do it? Honestly, not on the Lightning. The Lightning is the one that barely squeaked in. If we wanted to do it, we would be doing it for the Philippines class, maybe dropping the number, maybe increasing it by 1, manipulating some of the numbers there. But since we're just perfectly on the weight remaining right on the nose at 0, I don't think I want to make a change here. Yeah, I don't think I will. And this gives us something to spend our money on for the time being. Just until I finally get my ship list up and we can design a new ship. I didn't really talk about that last war, but man, this ended a little too quickly. I kind of wanted that one to continue because we were really doing well. So let's hope we get back into another war. By the way, I'm okay with going to war with the United Kingdom as well. Usually I like to say them as like the ultimate endgame foe, but we're getting towards that, and I think it would be an entertaining battle. I feel pretty confident. This whole series, obviously, the United States we're playing at a huge advantage. So, I'm sure I've mentioned this already, but if you ever want to consider an easier game of Rule the Waves, this is definitely the best nation to play as. Although Germany is pretty fun too, because you don't have the foreign tonnage, the requirements that Great Britain does. Yeah, still this question. Okay, so I'll pose this question to the comments section, and then let me know what I should do with the armored cruisers. I may not listen to you anyway. I'm kind of, unless somebody says something which really sways me one way or another, I'll just be making my own decision. But what to do about the battleships and the armored cruisers? The problem with the armored cruisers is that they are now vulnerable to being attacked by battle cruisers, which can end up being just a huge victory point sink. You know, you end up losing a lot of victory points to armored cruisers who are just caught by battle cruisers. It's how I actually can end up making a lot of victory points, because having my battle cruisers even catch inferior battle cruisers. But armored cruisers are just dead to rights the moment they're in that battle, because they can't escape. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts on that are if you care to. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up here. We'll start off the next episode designing some new ships. And yeah, until then, thanks for watching and take care.